high-level ideas guy and unwitting Russian stooge, Dave Rubin has a warning for pop megastar Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift endorses Kamala Harris on Instagram after the debate on ABC, proudly calls herself a childless cat lady. Elon Musk, who they hate, he saw that and he wrote this: "Fine, Taylor, you win. I will give you a child and guard your cats with my life." So he's mocking, he's exposing the ridiculousness, right? It's like, Taylor Swift, you are a young, pretty girl. Do you know what the gang members from Venezuela do to young, pretty girls? It ain't pretty. So what do we have to do? We have to keep finding each other to whatever extent we can. We have to keep waking people up. It is the only chance we have in these remaining 60 days.
Conservatives Stop Being Weird challenge, level impossible. It's been 0 days since conservatives were weird about Taylor Swift or pretty much any other woman. So, look, I got news for you. While gangs aren't generally nice to really anyone, there's about a 0% chance that Taylor Swift will ever cross paths with a gang member, okay, or a gang themselves. It's just not going to happen. This is not a rich people problem. This is a poor people problem, okay? And by the way, there's no chance in hell that Dave Rubin will ever run into a gang member either. Why? Well, he lives in a really expensive house paid for with Russian money, likely. Again, not a rich people problem, all right? But I love how rich people are constantly trying to scare middle-class people into thinking that poor people are coming for them. Thing is, the people impacted by crime and violence are poor people, usually the ones who are already disadvantaged. And so, in fact, according to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, younger people and those with lower incomes were far more likely to report being the victim of a violent crime than older and higher income people. Now, again, Taylor Swift is incredibly rich. Really unlikely that she's going to be victimized, by a member of a gang. Okay, very, very unlikely. She's more likely to be victimized by a boyfriend. All right, and then of course to write a song about him and make millions of dollars off of it. So hey, now look, there's an entire industry though who out there whose sole purpose is to scare white suburban wine moms into believing that any second there will be a horde of black people coming to your door to rape and murder you. Dave Rubin is part of that industry now. He gets paid very, very well to try to scare people. That's what it is. Look, crime is down across the country, all right? And again, most of those who are victimized by crime happen to be poor people. And by the way, the one crime that never gets covered on local news is the biggest crime in this country, which is wage theft by corporations. So corporations stealing your wages never gets talked about on corporate news. Gee, I wonder why. But again, the crimes that they do talk about generally tend to impact people who are poor, okay? People who are poor, who are powerless, that are trapped in poverty, and are oftentimes not protected by police, but are preyed upon police. So you've got criminals on one side who prey on these people, then you got police on the other who also prey on them. They're getting victimized by both sides here. And in many cases, that's why a lot of the crime doesn't get reported, okay? Among many other reasons, right? Fear of reprisal, one reason, feeling that police would not or could not do anything to help, and a belief that the crime is a personal issue or is too trivial to report, all right? And so these are according to a survey of people, okay? And when they are reported, by the way, they're more likely to never be solved. The FBI has something called a clearance rate, all right, which is the share of cases each year that is closed or cleared through the arrest, charging, and referral of a suspect for prosecution. It's also cleared due to the exceptional circumstances such as the death of the suspect or a victim's refusal to cooperate with a prosecution. In 2022, police nationwide cleared just 36.7% of all violent crimes that were reported to them, and just 12.1% of the property crimes that had come to their attention. This is of the crime that is reported, okay? Abysmal numbers, abysmal. Considering how much money we shoveled to the police every single year while defunding social services, mental health services, etc., services for the poor. Yeah. Now, that said, Dave Rubin is out there scaremongering about violent crime to apparently one of the richest women in the world. Now, the irony here, of course, is, and he mentioned this, he brought him up, Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, is one of the ones actually threatening rape. You know, I'll give you a child. Yeah, doesn't, no, not it. There's no consent there, all right? It's not the gangs that are threatening Taylor Swift or anyone else. Well, I can't say anyone else. They are threatening people. Again, people who are in poverty. No, it's the right wing, though, which is actually putting more people, more people at risk. I mean, Springfield, Ohio. Donald Trump talked about, the Haitian migrants are eating the cats and the dogs. That's not true. And guess what? There are bomb threats from unhinged right-wingers towards municipal buildings in Springfield, Ohio as a result. The people that were allegedly being threatened by these Venezuelan gangs in Aurora, Colorado. Guess what? A lot of the residents there also being threatened by right-wingers, unhinged right-wingers. So that's the reality, okay? Again, back to Taylor Swift. She's a powerful person. She is very wealthy and very influential, all right? She's not going to get touched. But think of the women who are not, all right? They're watching people like Elon Musk, and they're watching the unhinged right wing say these things. How do you think they're supposed to feel? If I were them, I wouldn't feel very safe around the far right. Look, the thing that that far-righters fear most are women speaking up for themselves and making their own decisions through their votes. Now, the last point I'm going to make is about Dave Rubin. You want to talk about crime. Even though he hasn't been formally, charged with any crime, he was named in a DOJ probe as someone allegedly duped by Russian state media to do propaganda. In the indictment, one of the narratives that these Russian-paid influencers had pushed included the fear-mongering about migrant gangs in order to try to boost the candidacy of Donald Trump. Well, that's exactly what Dave Rubin is doing. I guess he's trying to grab every single ruble he can. And he can't spell ruble, by the way, without the word rube. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.